Hey, what's up guys? My name is Brandon Robles and today I will be walking you through how to shrink wrap your books for Amazon FBA. There are 5 tools you need to shrink wrap your books to safely get to Amazon FBA. The first tool you're going to be needing is the shrink wrap itself. I get mine from eBay for a pretty good price. I think this one was 200 pieces. I get a 10 by 15. So this is a box of shrink wrap. It basically fits all the medium to small size books. You can get a larger one if you'd like, but I usually end up dealing with these smaller ones. And they're a great size. They usually fit all. So I really enjoy these. And this is what they look like. It's just a nice size. It fits pretty good books in. And I'll show you how to seal it off in a second. But yeah, no, I really like these. The second thing you're going to be needing is an impulse sealer, and they're actually much cheaper than you would expect. I think I paid $40. I've had it for about a year and it's treated me very well. This one was the larger size. There's 2 different sizes. I got the bigger one just in case I needed bigger books to be shrink wrapped. In my first video on what you need to sell on Amazon, I had a bunch of links for all these tools, so make sure to go check that out. The third thing you will need is a heat gun. This is a must if you want to make this happen, because after you have the book in the shrink wrap and you seal it, you need this to take all the air out of the bag so it's not all loose in there. I had this one laying around my house. You probably do too, but if not, you can pick them up online, I'm sure. Again, I'll link down below. I'm sure you can get it at a reasonable price, but you can use this for shrink wrap and you could also use it to remove stickers, which I mentioned in my other video. So it's multi-use, it's really helpful. The fourth thing you'll need is a small little pin. This comes in handy when you need to poke holes in the shrink wrap so the air can't escape. Everyone has one of these laying around the house, but it helps out a lot to just have one handy. And number 5, the last item you need is warning labels. After you have your book shrink wrapped, you'll need to stick this on the back, which is a warning label. The warning label is required by Amazon because the shrink wrap is a choke hazard for children, and this is mainly to just save you from getting in any trouble. This is a necessity if you even want to shrink wrap books to send in. All right, now that you know what tools you need, now I'm going to show you how to actually do it. So here are the 2 items I'm going to be shrink wrapping today. So here are my 2 poly bags I'm going to be using for these. Kind of crinkly. So I'm going to stick the book in here. Just slide it in. Make sure it's to one of the corners. Kind of like this. I'll go ahead and do the other one as well. Just get it in there. And again, they sell different sizes, so if you need a bigger book, you can just order some of those. It's basically the same thing. Cool. All right, so now that they're in the bag, we're going to take our impulse sealer, and you're going to want to seal the opening. Don't get right up next to the book. You can possibly even burn your book if you get a little too close or damage it. So just leave some room for it. Pull away like that. And I don't know if you guys can see, but it is sealed now. I will remove some extra space. I just usually do that. So when you do the heat gun, there won't be all that extra poly bag there. So I just go ahead and do it again and remove all that extra space, and here we go. Now our book has been sealed. We're going to go ahead and do it for the other item that I have here. Here we go again. I do find for thicker items like this, leave a little more space, because if you get too tight, when you do the heat gun process, the poly bag ends up splitting or rips, and you don't want that. It kind of gets annoying after a while when you do it multiple times. So just go ahead and leave some space. Not too much, but for these thicker ones, again, just leave some space so you don't have to redo it. So there it is. It is sealed now. So the sealing process is finished. You have all this extra stuff. You can either save it for a small book or just toss it. So that part is done. Now you need your pin. And what you're going to do is poke some holes. I usually poke 3 on each corner, on 3 corners of the item. Just poke them in there so the air can escape once you are heat gunning your item. Okay. This is kind of a dull pin, but that's all right. Cool. All right, 3 holes have been poked into it. All right, and the final step you're going to be doing is heat gunning your items. All right, so here's my heat gun here, and I'm just going to go around. I'll do the edges of the item first, Then I'll hit the front cover and then the back cover. Again, don't get too tight. Depending on the paperback, it could bend it, or if you do it too much, the poly bag will rip. So just be careful, hold it a safe distance away, and don't burn your book, whatever you do. Just be careful with it. It doesn't need to be perfect. So here we go. I'm gonna heat it up a little bit. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna hit the edges first. Keep it a safe distance away. It tightens up pretty quick, so you don't need to run it over too much. Just one pass with it should do it. Make sure the air is out of it. Here we go. I usually hit it with 3 passes on the first go. 3. This one's fine, but you see how it's kind of bending a little bit? This is fine, but you don't want it too much. So I'll usually flip to the other side, kind of flatten it, and then quickly, another 3 passes, boom, boom, boom. And that's really it. I might come over here, fix it just a little bit, but that's perfect. It won't get bent. You can see it's actually a lot easier to pack, believe it or not, because the pages won't bend, the cover won't bend. It's nice and firm now, so you can just slip it in. So that's the first one. We'll do the other one now. Again, the thicker books, thicker items can be a little trickier. So you just gotta be careful with it, and just don't do it too much. It doesn't need to be perfect. So run across it. Make sure the air escapes. See how that's kind of puffing up? You gotta let that air escape through those holes. All right, the edges are done. Sometimes you have this extra space. Let's get those front and back done. All right. Get the back. Okay. And then you're gonna wanna get these corners. Once the poly bag gets a little hard, it can actually become sharp. So, there. All right, guys, the final step we need to do is just simply put the warning labels on the back and we'll be finished. Make sure not to cover the label on whatever you're doing. I've done it before, it sucked. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video about how to shrink wrap. I know there's not too many videos out there, that's why I wanted to put one out for you guys. It's very simple and it can protect your books a lot when it's going into an FBA warehouse. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below with any questions you may have, or DM me at @TheBrandonRobles on Instagram. Stay hustling, guys. I'll see you in the next video.